Good morning, ducks! Oh, you're just waking up there, lazy. I don't know who's more lazy, Doug or me. I gotta get some things done today. I have to. But we've got a nasty rainstorm coming in. It's actually gorgeous right now. I'm actually wearing shorts. It's 22 degrees out. But tomorrow is supposed to go back down to 10 degrees and rain, which we could use some rain. But I gotta hang on my laundry today, take advantage of this free drying weather. Come on, wake up, ducks! Come on, Roger, come on, ducks! Oh, is it ever windy? That storm that's blowing in might be coming early. I'm just looking at Disco, and her foot is not swollen, guys. It's got to be a hip problem. And the thing is, to catch her... I'm sorry about the bad camera there, guys. I'm trying to watch her. Like, I'm looking at her leg, and it's like no swelling action at all. She had to have hurt her hip. Come on out. And the thing is, I don't want to chase her because she is like the most uncooperative duck here. Okay, now you're walking semi-normal. What's going on with you, little duck? Okay, she's putting her foot all the way down. I'll leave her alone. I just don't want to chase her and make it worse. Like, I actually have to corner her in a building. And even then, she'll fight me like crazy. But like, she's got no swelling at all in her legs. Like, there's nothing. It's like they're identical size. I'm gonna have to catch her in the pen. I'm about 30 feet away, guys, and she won't let me go near her. This bird, you'd almost think that she's wild. That's the way she acts. She absolutely does not want to have anything to do with humans. She uses me. I'd like to know how she hurt herself. Because like, I've never seen a drake around her. I've never seen, like, the geese don't pick on her. Like, nothing, man. That bird is, you know, probably one of the most loner birds here. As far as, you know, other birds picking on her or any kind of problems. She's sort of being her own thing, you know. Stripper is hiding underneath the hay. Just check on her. Yesterday she was there all day. She just stayed underneath the hay. I went into the pen. She walked around. Oh, that wind is crazy. Okay, Stripper, what's going on with you? You just hide all the time. Go out in the yard, and she'll come right back into the pen later. I did that yesterday. I walked her out of the yard, out of the pen, and like an hour later, she was back inside the pen again. She goes over and plays in the water over in the creek and then comes back. All right, I'm going to get hospital duck. I'm not going to throw the pivot heads on, guys, because I want to get focused here on changing the motor on the incubator, and I've got to wash all the eggs up and get ready. I'm going to let the incubator run today, and then tomorrow, if everything's going right and it's stabilized, the eggs are going in tomorrow. That's the plan anyways. We'll see what happens here. I'm still pretty screwed up. I'm a little, I don't know what's going on with me. I'm thinking, and I never told you guys what I was going through up to the lead up to the May the 5th hearing that I had to go to, but I've been keeping something sort of inside. I've been really screwed up, honestly. I've been a mess. The fact that I was looking at another year of punishment, it had me sort of freaked out, because it's been pretty hard on me the last year, the last 9 months, 6.5 months of this bankruptcy waiting thing, and not knowing if I was going to be discharged. It's I think that's a lot of my exhaustion, like the viral fatigue, the post-viral fatigue I was suffering from, and that physically that drained me. And then I had this subconsciously this thing hanging over my head, because I was supposed to go to my hearing March the 10th, and March the 10th, look at my channel, I was laying in bed dying with that viral infection in my chest. So I've gone through the last 2 months waiting for this this date to find out if I'm gonna if it's gonna end July 26th. So I'm screwed up person. That's basically the bottom line. I'm thinking it's gonna take me a couple days to get my head around it, because it's almost like a whole bunch of stress has been let go from me, and I'm just sort of dealing with it. It's the weirdest thing. Like honestly, it's just bizarre. It's almost like the relief is hard to deal with. That's what it feels like. The relief is a drain. It's physically has drained me mentally. It's just, I don't know. It's the most screwed up thing, to get really good news like that you're not going to face another year of bankruptcy jail, or lack of a better term. It's sort of like, oh, I'm really going to be free July the 26th, and I don't know. It's I think honestly, and I know this is going to sound really weird, a little bit of defeatism, but I think I was building myself up to accepting another year of this bankruptcy jail that I'm being put through, because of the sheer size of my bankruptcy, because it was all my business debt, that I had guaranteed that it was big. It was big, guys, and I think that's what subconsciously I was prepared. And I had just accepted that I was just going to drudge along another year, and now it's not going to happen, and I'm sort of screwed up, because it's like I had gotten my mind into that rut of I was beaten, and now it's looking like I'm not. Well, I'm not actually, because July 26th I'm going to be free. So anyways, that's enough of that. I shouldn't even have brought it up, but I just had to I had to share it with you guys, because honestly, I'm having a hard time getting my head around it, what was going on in my head. So anyways, I'm going to get the duck out, and we're going to get some happy stuff happening here, get the incubator going, and and wash a whole whack of eggs today. Okay, where's my dog? Doug, where are you? Oh, look at you. You're being so good. I let Doug out yesterday, guys, and let him just run the property. I looked at his foot. It's closed up enough here that I'm not worried about it. I did wash it off a couple times yesterday, but he was seriously freaking happy yesterday. Weren't you, Doug? You ran your face off yesterday. Total, no holds barred, run in the bush, covered in mud, like right to the back of his head. It was pretty crazy what he did yesterday. And now he's cooking himself in the sun. No, Dougie, leave the dead kitten alone. He's trying to eat the kitten off the mic here. Look at that. Almost totally, like, actually you can't even, you just see the purple sutures in his fur. No red at all, guys. But I did a lot of work taking care of you. Every time I got muddy, I washed it off an antibiotic spray, and I stayed right on top of it because I did not want to have Doug have any problems. And he's not. He's actually almost perfect. Well, he is perfect, actually. He's perfect for me. Well, it's time. Doug. Okay, guys, it's time to do the motor swap on the incubator and get it running. Now, I did have to end up putting the wood underneath the incubator like I did last year. I had to put the 4x4 under each corner because the floor is unlevel enough that with the wheels, even with the bottom being rigid, I had a movement in the incubator. I knew it was going to vibrate because it wasn't solid on the ground. So I've had some people ask if I would do a video on what the deal is on the incubator here, on what basically is my incubator. Got a little bit of water leak, nothing major though. So the incubator holds 1,184 duck eggs. There is 3 trays per shelf on each one of these shelves, and each tray holds 63 eggs, which you'll see the trays tomorrow when I wash the eggs up. Well, you might see them later today. The trays sit in there, and there's a ledge here that stops the trays from sliding because this thing tilts 45 degrees each way. It does one complete rotation every 90 minutes. So the eggs go from 90 degrees, a full 90 degree turn every 90 minutes. Totally automatic. It's got the heater coils on the back. There are 2 heater coils. You can see they sort of crisscross. It's hard to see with the shelves here. There's 2 elements. They're 300 watt, 220 volt elements. Yes, they're 300 watts each, so there's 600 watts of heating elements on the back of it. There's a big ceiling fan, which is defective. It's not working. On the bottom here is the evaporator tray, which we just had painted. It's got a little bit of a leak, but I know what the problem is. Need a little more Teflon tape on the connection. The evaporation tray is filled up with water that comes in through that hose right there, which I've got a 20-liter bucket of water that's just strictly gravity fed. Now, the first year that I used it, I actually filled the tray up every day, and I had a lot of fluctuations in the humidity. And as soon as I started using the float system on it, the fluctuations on the humidity stopped, because it basically keeps the water, I think it's around 180. It keeps it warm enough that it evaporates pretty quick. That keeps the required 55% humidity in the incubator. And as you can see, I have it written down because the incubator has a different temperature and a different humidity than the hatcher does. We're not going to talk about the hatcher because that's a while off yet here, about 25 days actually. It's controlled by a computer control. It's all Chinese, 220 volts, single line voltage, 50 hertz, which is ran. And it's ran on this step-up transformer. Now this is a 3,000 watt step-up transformer. You need to run at least double. Now this incubator draws, I think it's 1,200 watts of power. So it really only needed a 2,400 watt step-up transformer, but just the way they make them, I got a 3,000. And believe it or not, the first year, which it should not have ran, but the first year I ran this, I ran it on a 1,000 watt step-up transformer. But the second year, the transformer died. It caught in fire as soon as I plugged it in last year. That's why we're at a 3,000 watt. There was a little bit of an emergency last year on the Duck Adventure on that one. We seem to have a lot of curveballs here. This is the curveball channel, basically. If it's going to go wrong, I'll figure out how to make it happen. So that's the workings of the incubator. It's pretty simple. The motor mechanism is right there that controls the shelves. Everything's computerized. It's got an exhaust fan on the back. There's air vents on the sides. It's got holes which have rubber plugs that you can, depending on your environment, if you want to have the plugs open or not, for air to come in. It works. Worked last year, and it's got a light, but I have it unplugged right now because I'm about to take it apart. And that's pretty well it, guys. That's the incubator. For the new viewers, I'm not going to go in the hatcher today because we're 3 weeks away from the hatcher, and it's behind me, and I made it completely from scratch. So I'm going to get the water out of this thing, which I wish I wouldn't have put water in it. Now I know that the fan is, I'm going to try it one more time. No, fan is screwed. It's not working. Alright, we gotta get this taken care of. We gotta get it running now. Well, not now, but it's gonna be done real quick. Because I haven't perfected on changing the fan, but I have done it, I think, 5 times. So, and usually there's eggs in it, so I'm doing pretty good right now doing it with nothing in it. Doug's enjoying freedom, guys. He's been running back and forth every time the crows. I mean, basically the crows are setting him off today. Right now he's watching the crows in the tree. Every time he comes back, he's dirtier and dirtier and dirtier. He's one happy dog. He's back outside. And I got a little bit of rust in the evaporation tray. I must have scratched the paint job when I was putting in the heating element, because right where I can see where the pliers scraped the paint, there's rust already. That Chinese metal is cheap. It'd be nice to have a stainless, tray in the bottom, but that costs real money in this part of the world. All right, gonna get my motor out and start the swap. I was inside working, and I could hear all this noise, and it's upset Duck from the barn. She's walking around all upset. She doesn't stop. And Stripper is staying out in the yard today. Now, I don't know if it's because Doug and I are out here walking around. That could be it. Doug's gone over a couple times and give her a smell, and she just laid there. She's so upset. I'm laying inside the incubator, and I could just hear this rocket, and I thought something was, beating up on the duck, and she's going back into the pen. She might be heading back to the barn. She's just walking around upset. Her tail's going, quacking. All right, back to my swap job. The fact that I can take it out so quick and work on this is not a good sign, guys. It means I've done it far too much. Okay, I put bushings in here last year to make it tighter, and I can't remember exactly what I did, but I know it's a lot snugger than it was before. Alright, I got it. Okay, I don't remember it being this difficult to get out. Oh, there we go. Okay, time to swap the blades over to the replacement motor and then take this to the motor shop. I'm wondering if it's this right here that's done. I know the motor shop's not going to have the parts, but if he can tell me what's wrong and I can order the parts, maybe I can fix it. Because it would suck if I had to order another one from China. Because like I said, guys, the postage, well, to get it here by courier would be 130, 150 bucks alone, just to have it here as backup. So hopefully I can get it fixed this week. Alright, let's dig out the replacement. I have it stored inside of the patcher. One replacement motor. Well, the moment of truth, guys. We'll see if she works. And that's the way it's supposed to spin. Except it's not supposed to have that wobble. Alright, I got a wobble for some reason. That makes no sense. Alright, I got to see what's causing this. It looks like it's out of center. Well, you know, it couldn't be that simple. Just replace the motor, something else. Well, we're taking it out again, guys. It's looking like the housing is built crooked. It's not anything bent. It looks like this is actually somehow assembled crooked. I don't know, I gotta get it on a flat surface. One blade is out by about 2 inches. Doesn't make any sense what's causing it to be out of whack. But hey, it's the Chinese. They'll make it a little more interesting for me here today. It only took me, I don't know, I'm trying to think here. I moved the blades around, tried new blades because I had another set of new blades, and it just kept happening the same thing. Those two blades are sitting high, this blade is low, and I got staring at it because I was like, okay, what is going on? It's like I've tried many different blades and I've moved things around, and the end result is this side's always low. And then I got looking, and right here you can see the fan housing, how it slopes down just enough that it's causing this blade to be out of whack. Now, I didn't feel a vibration in the machine, but it can't be good for the motor to be out of whack like that. Unbelievable. Like, this side's high right here, but then there you can see there's a dent right there. It's like it got crushed down in the factory right here. Unbelievable. It's sloped, like the blade here is straight out, and you can see it sloped down. And the thing is, I can't even put a washer in there to lift it up because it'll just lift it up crooked. It needs to actually be a wedge. Freaking unbelievable. I can see the dent. I don't know if it's showing up in the video, but right there you can see the reflection in the paint. Unbelievable. So my backup came defective. That's not good. Yeah, I can feel the bulge right there. It's been bent, and this fancy gold tape is distorted right here. I think I might go to the garage and take it apart and see if I can bend it back up. Alright, we're off to the garage. Nothing simple. That's all he's doing, is running around barking. Everything is setting him off. It's almost like he's ODing on being free again. Oh man. Alright, I'm in the garage and I've marked the spot where the ding is, and I'm going to take it apart and see if I can press the ding out. Maybe. I might be able to fix this. Well, I took the fancy gold tape off and I confirmed it. Look at that. This was dropped in the factory, and some little Chinese person put the tape on it anyways and covered up the ding. So it's been dropped. Oh yeah, you can see it. Oh man, oh man. I don't believe this. This is just crap, guys. You can really see the impact wound right here, how it bends down. Unbelievable. I've pried it apart a bit here, but the way they've built this thing, it's not meant to be taken apart and fixed, of course. Well, I think I got it bent straight, well, as straight as I'm going to get it here today. Looks a lot better. Well, let's put the blades on it and see how out of whack it is. Oh, believe this, man. Oh man. I've been screwing around, guys, with a simple 18-minute job for over 2.5 hours. Moment of truth 2.0. Alright, I've got the blades on. What I've done here is I put a magic marker marked there and marked there on my bench.
I've got it sitting on a flat surface. Previously the blade was so twisted, well, the housing was so twisted that the blade would actually touch on a flat surface, while those two blades were up, you know, they're up approximately 3.5 inches. So we'll just spin this around and match this up. Okay, so that side's pretty close. Well, that's a little bit better. It's out by about maybe 3/4 of an inch. Yeah, not as good as it should be, because when I started, this here was actually almost touching the bench. So I did manage to bend this up a touch. I have a hunch it's still going to vibrate, which means I absolutely have to get that other motor fixed or replaced, because if this thing's vibrating, it ain't going to last long. Alright, I took a second crack at bending in here. I had a brain fart, came up with an idea, and it seems to have taken out a lot of the bend here. I barely can feel it with my finger now right there. So what I did, I took 2 C-clamps, I put one on each side here. I had the blade gone, and then I put the screwdriver back in the crack, and then I used you know, ever so gingerly force and twisted it, and it seems to have lifted it up more. So magic marker mark, magic marker mark. Look at that. Almost. I think it's close enough. It's pretty close, guys. That's a huge improvement. So let's go and put it in the incubator and see if I've totally screwed the motor up or not. I hope I haven't, but it seems to. Oh, it's got a bit of a noise here. Oh yeah, we got something's rubbing inside. I didn't but it doesn't feel like it's binding. Well, we'll go find out if I screwed it up or not. Man, I don't believe this. I've been screwing around with this since, well, I started at noon is when I started. It's 10 to 3. I don't even have any eggs washed yet. Doug's having a nap because he has ran his face off today. Alright, let's go put this back in the incubator. Moment of truth 3.0. Be honest, I'm afraid to turn it on. Here we go. A little bit out of whack. I can see a little bit, but nothing like it was before. There's a little bit of pulsing in the cabinet. Just a touch. Ever so slight. It's a huge improvement. What a lot of screwing around though. That was unbelievable what I went through to fix that housing. Basically I just, you know, twisted the crap out of it till I could get it to work, but I had to do it without destroying it. Alright, time to get the water in the bottom, and oh, I need to get some more Teflon tape, stop it from leaking. I don't believe this, guys. You know, honestly, I thought, you know, half an hour I would have it running. It's like, I think 3:15 now. Ridiculous.
He was just dead to the world sleeping. But as soon as he hears me turn the camera on, he thinks something's going to happen. I'd estimate he's probably ran 15, 18 kilometers today. He's been going pretty hardcore. He won't even follow me over to the garage. That's how hardcore he's been going at it. They've basically been playing in the creek all afternoon.
And the Canada geese just left here. And Doug really hates when the geese get all upset. He ends up chasing them. I don't know why. I think it's because of the big white flapping wings. Because the geese can't run like a duck does. They run and they flap their wings. And as soon as they start flapping their wings, Doug loses it. He put the run on the geese here about 10 minutes ago. They went running down to the swamp with their wings flapping, and Doug went after them like a bat out of hell. Looks like the water leak's fixed. A little more Teflon tape, give it a little more of a tighten. And it's time to power up, guys. This is it. I don't like the sound that motor makes when it starts up. Well, we'll let it run for the night and see what happens tomorrow. Hopefully everything works. It's time to start washing some eggs. Getting the trays loaded up for tomorrow. Gotta think positive here. It's gonna work. I'm gonna start working backwards from the newest eggs backwards, and we'll see what it brings our count up to and how many days old we're gonna get here. I would like not to go over 10 days old, but we'll see what they've given us here. So all I'm gonna do is I'm just going to rinse them with warm water. I don't want to soak them. I just want to rinse them to get the big stuff off. I don't want to wash them so much that the bloom comes off. You want to make sure that stays on. So just a warm water rinse is all you need to do on a duck egg. That, you know, there's no reason to, like some people use sanitizer and sterilizers, and you know, Mother Nature coats the eggs. So the whole idea is to not remove too much of Mother Nature's protection. And I'm going to put them here, which then I'll write the date on them, you know, the 5th for May the 5th, on the duck egg tray. And then I've got the goose egg tray over here. I'm going to start washing some eggs. Actually, I'm going to probably wash about 600. Maybe more. And you put them pointy end down. Or big end up, whatever way you want to look at it. So you just want to get this big stuff off, the grunge. And this also gives you a good chance to look for eggs that have cracks, nicks, you know, because the ducks they do lay eggs pretty rough. They're notorious for, you know, doing drive-by egg drops. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm just going to wash all the duck eggs, and tomorrow when I can open the curtains in the back room is when I'll do the sort and go through and find the Muscovy eggs, because they stick out really good in the light. I'm going to be washing eggs for a long time. I'm in the house and the Canada geese are coming into the yard, you know, and Doug's ignoring them, but as soon as I start walking around, they freeze. Like that one right there, he was just casually walking around, you know, picking at the ground, eating. And as soon as I came out, it just freezes, panic. You know, the thing is that their coloring, you know, you'd never think that they would blend in, you know, as well as they do. But I'm telling you guys, I walk out here more times, and they actually startle me because they blend in so well. Mother Nature's amazing. Doug's gonna lose it here because there's a black squirrel sneaking up here on the log, and that's going to freak the goose out. But back to their coloring, I'm blown away how something gray, black, and white can blend in so well. Well, you don't see the squirrel yet, do you, Doug? Alright, I'm going to go do egg recon. I've been washing eggs, guys, for, well, I think it's 6 o'clock right now. So I've been washing eggs 2.5 hours. I think it's good that I didn't wash them when I was storing them, because the natural antibacterial bloom that Mother Nature puts on them protects them. And I think that we might have better luck here on the eggs that I've stored. Actually, I should leave that egg. I'm going to leave that egg because it's not fertilized. That duck has not been mating. I'll come back for it. It'll be an eat egg. Yeah, I don't know how the count is going compared to last year. I think the ducks have seriously dropped off on egg production because last year, you know, the first batch of eggs I was collecting, we had them in that Laina. Oh, she's back. Duck! Go outside. You were actually all over the place and then you're back in here. Yeah, so last year we had them on that Laina, which is basically, you know, an egg laying food. So they pump the eggs out, but we had those concrete shells. These shells are not concrete, guys. You got to be really gentle. Actually, even washing them, you've got to be gentle because they crack. I think the ducklings are going to explode out of them. They're not going to have a problem hatching this year. I got to come back in here and take care of hospital ducks, a little enclosure. Yeah, when I'm washing them, just like in my hand, lightly rinsing with water, I had 3 of them crack on me, right in my hand. And there was 2 that had holes in them, and I've eaten some already of the older ones from, I think it was April 18th. And they're really, really, really thin shells. So I think we're not going to get as many eggs from the ducks this year because we're, you know, we don't have them on that, you know, high protein egg laying food. But I think we're going to have a higher success rate because the ducklings are actually going to be able to get out of the shells instead of being, you know, cast in cement. Because last year, you know, that first hatch there when I lost like 400 ducklings, you know, and they were like breaking the shells, and every single shell had a duckling in it that died that couldn't get out. That shouldn't happen because the ducklings this year are not going to be trapped. They're going to be able to get out. This is a really good batch of clean eggs. Oh, look at this little mound. It's got to be a goose. No, ducks. But look at that. They cover the eggs up, thinking that I'm not going to know. This is a good batch of eggs today. No, they're not eating. They're not eating much at all. I'm actually shocked. The food consumption. I think a lot of it too, you know, is the corn. The free ranging, because they never stop eating. Like they never. That's all they do is run around and drill and eat and drill and eat and mate. And well, look at them. They're all down there drilling in the swamp. Well, as soon as I get this hatch underway, the incubation, I should say, we'll be getting that Argo fired up. It's just starting to rain too. We're supposed to get some rain for the next couple days. I don't believe today that fan. Oh man. I should, you know, because really, you know what my plan was today, guys? I was going to, you know, get the, swap the motor out on the incubator. Get it running because like really it's like a half an hour job tops. Start to finish. And I was going to, look at that one single egg. I was going to start working on the Argo because I really want to get it fixed, get the swamp done, and return it back to my buddy. And that ain't happening today. Well, we got a pretty good pail of eggs. Not a bad pail at all, actually. I'll come back to this later. I'm still dealing with eggs inside. I want to get that done. Temperature's supposed to drop something like 13 degrees and rain. Oh, there's Stripper. She spent the whole day outside today, except the tack duck went back in. I think I know why the ducks are mostly down the creek. It looks like the creek's mostly down at the Lake Creek, because the creek over there is looking like it's empty, or pretty close to it. And more ducks are heading down to the swamp. It looks like the ducks are at the mouth of the creek thinking they'd want to go for a swim, but there's Canada geese out there. Alright, I'm going to go get my egg situation under control here and get on with the rest of my day here. I got a bit of a hunger happening. Oven roasted duck tonight. Oh, it smells so good in the oven right now. Nice big drake too. It's like a 6.4 pound drake. Big Peking cross. Not a Muscovy either. A whole bunch of ducks sleeping in the front yard. There's little Disco. Got to figure out how to trap her. I think tomorrow that'll be the plan. I'm going to figure out some way of getting her isolated. I want to take a look. Man, she's a nasty bird to handle too. Oh, she just freaking hates being touched. She's almost a wear gloves type of bird, because she claws you. Like, I've never once picked her up with bare hands yet and didn't walk away with a scratch mark. And you gotta really hang on to her, because she fights right, like, she doesn't give up. She's got a really wicked attitude. So seriously relaxed ducks here. Alright, gotta wash my boots. Oh guys, I love this boot brush. It's the answer. Never have dirt in the house, except for Doug. Doug's the dirt tracker inner now. The incubator is running at the right temperature. Humidity's a bit low, but I've had the door open all day here doing my egg washing. I washed absolutely everything I had. Everything. I'm putting it all in because I'm going to be candling in like 8 days anyways. We'll take out what doesn't take, but it'll give us a good idea of how old an egg could be, because I went back to the 21st of April. A lot of egg washing. My hands are pruned right up here. I gotta go do my chores. I got 21 minutes before my supper's ready, but this is the biggest batch of eggs I've ever put in yet. It's pretty big. And don't forget to like the video and share it with your friends, and enjoy the show.